So we can all just press got it. Hi everyone, my name is Amanda, and I am the moderator, and today we are showcasing your psychic tarot friends. We have two psychics on the panel. First is Psychic for Lovers, known as Pastor Moses, is a spiritual pastor. She's a psychic, tarot card reader, clairvoyant, claircognizant, intuitive, and dream interpreter. With over 30 plus years of experience, she's worked as a psychic online with Keen, Live Advice, 5-star psychic advice. Her website is psychicforlovers.com. She does private readings, and her YouTube channel is Psychic FOUR Lovers. Janet is the second psychic on our panel with over 40 plus years of experience. She has been on over 100 plus TV shows such as David Letterman, Sally Jesse Raphael, Regis and Kelly, The Joe Franklin Show, Joy Behau, and multiple radio shows. She's a psychic, clairvoyant, clairsentient, aura reader, medium, picture reader, palmistry, handwriting, cat psychic, and healer. Her contact info is BKLYN Jim, GYM, 123@gmail.com. There are two options to get a personal reading. The first option is Janet for $5 per question. The second option is also Janet for $5 per question, plus a free bonus. Psychic for Lovers will answer the same question free of charge if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. A general, Pastor Moses will pick a pile to see what's going on in people's love life for the rest of the spring. Would you mind starting, Pastor Moses?
Sure. You're not going to mention the topics and the tidbits yet before I start?
Oh, yes. So today we are doing topics, which is the psychic ability, the gut feeling, and the intuition. And today's celebrity tidbit will be about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting with the general reading?
Yes, sure. To pick a pile, there's pile number 1.
Yes, 2 and 3.
Okay. So let's start with you, I guess, unless somebody else is wanting to pick a pile. Why don't you pick a number?
I would say 2.
Okay. Remember I told you earlier that I thought you was going to say 2 and you had said 3?
Yes.
And now you said 2. See, I knew you was going to say 2. Okay, so this is just a general reading on the energy around love life. So basically, this is the general. So we're going to see what's coming up. So you pick pile number 2. Let's see what's going on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I must have miscounted. So we're going to take another card from the top. Here we go. All righty. So what it tells me that it feels like a offer is going to come to whoever picks pile number 2, just in general, because it's not specific to you, but it feels like they're going to get an offer. Someone is going to show interest in them. And this person who shows interest in you, you're going to be not sharing that with whoever your significant other, the person you're with. You're just not going to share it. You're going to keep it to yourself because you feel like, it might threaten their security. You know what I mean? Might make them insecure. So it feels like someone is going to be interested in you and show that interest, and you'll keep it to yourself. It's going to make you happy because you're going to feel beautiful. You're going to feel wanted. You're going to feel desired. So that will make you happy because it feels like in your relationship, that person is not telling you that you're beautiful and you're special. They're not making you feel special anymore like they did in the beginning. So it feels like that offer, when that person shows attention, that attention is going to make you feel really beautiful and wanted and desired and special. So it feels like from that, I feel like you're going to feel a sense of, okay, I'm not going to do anything with this because I do care about the person I'm with, because now it feels like you're working towards, your goal to become financially stable, and things are happening fairly quickly. And you're surprised about how quickly your finances improving. So it feels like this is going to be something that you'll get used to as time go on, but it just feels like all this stuff coming in at one time is surprising to you. So, and then I feel like be aware if you do actually let the person know, your significant other, the person you're dealing with, about somebody showing attention. Maybe you might try to want to get attention and just letting them know he's not the only person. If you do say that, he or she, if you do say that that to them, that somebody's interested in it, it'll cause a fight. So try not to do that. It will definitely cause a fight because that person will definitely feel insecure and then thinking you want somebody else. And it also just shows me that, just to keep things at peace, just keep it to yourself, because I feel the love is there, and I feel like y'all two will grow, especially if the person don't feel insecure about losing you. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So next we are going to go in with Janet, and she will be speaking about colors. So first we are going to be starting with migraine, the eye, and the hay fever. Would you mind starting, Janet?
Okay, because I want to tell everyone, if you're feeling off color that day and parts of your body need some color attention, and that's why I'm going to give you the colors that will help you come back to a better mood. So what did you want to ask about?
Okay, so we can get started with the head.
Okay, if you have a headache and you take a piece of cloth, or a handkerchief, or you focus on the color blue, blue will help you come out of the headache in just a few seconds, a few minutes. Blue.
Okay, and then next we are going to go into the eyes.
Okay, now the eyes like the color turquoise. Even if you have a ring that's turquoise stone and your eyes are tired or they feel you can't focus, just look at the turquoise stone. Something about turquoise makes the eyes function better. It's a vibration thing.
Okay, and then lastly, we'll go into hay fever.
If you have hay fever, wait a minute, the color for that is a royal blue, not like a medium blue, but a royal blue. And that is the best color for that.
Okay, Janet, thank you. So now we are going to move into the topics today. First, we are going to get started on the psychic ability. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting that out, please?
Yes, everyone is born with psychic ability, whether they know it or not. So some people are very clear that they know they have psychic abilities. And some people think that they don't have a lick of psychic ability, but God, a universe, the highest source, whoever you call your highest source, it's innate. We are born with it. It's within us. So one of the most common psychic abilities that everyone should be able to relate to is what we call intuition, our gut feeling. So the intuition, like if you feel something and you know in your gut, you'll usually feel it in your gut or your solar plex, and it'll say to you that, hey, something's not right here. Maybe you walking down a block and you're about to turn and you feel a certain thing, say, I don't think I should go down that block. Something's not right. And then you don't go down that block, and you find out later maybe there was a shooting, you know what I mean? Or something happened, really bad at that block. Maybe, a car went into the building that, you were there, a store that you thought you were going to go in, So your gut feeling, like if your gut feeling tell you like, hey, you're in a relationship and you're saying something makes me feel like he's not being honest with me. He's not being truthful. So when a person does that, then I'm sorry, when you feel that, then that tells you that, hey, something is not right. You know, I should pay attention to what my gut is telling me. Maybe I should just really, really investigate what I'm feeling. So your gut feeling, your intuition, pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. So that's your psyche telling you something, and you should listen to your gut feeling more than anybody else. You should listen to your own gut feeling. Janet, you want to talk more about that, please?
Yes, because the psychic ability, the strongest psychic ability starts in the first chakra, which is your base chakra. We'll go over another time, but it is the need for the protection of your self safety. And so when you when when you sense danger or problems, that's all first chakra stuff. That somebody, even animals, first chakra safety. And it makes you feel that you are, uh, like if there is danger. So the psychic ability is real strong as a baby, even. They just know things psychically. If you think about how a baby knows a lot, you're going to see that they protect themselves. And then as you get older and you're not brainwashed by some religion or something that's trying to change you from thinking for yourself or feeling for yourself, you'll see that your psychic ability will go, wait a minute, that's not right, but I guess I have to cooperate with everyone, but something inside me says this is not quite right. Oh, wait a minute, I also feel today there's something wrong. Somebody forgot to do something and I feel danger. And then they find out somebody left the door unlocked or somebody left something of danger. You might not know what exactly the danger is unless you practice your psychic ability more, but you'll still, if you have no practice at all, you still should be able to sense danger. That's the first thing, that psychic ability is there for you to protect yourself and the others around you.
Right.
Thank you, Janet.
I agree. Yes.
So now we are going to move into our celebrity tidbit about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Just a little backstory about them. They dated and broke up in 2004. Then they recently reconnected, and now they are restarting their relationship. So my first question is for Pastor Moses. When they first dated, how was their relationship?
Okay, so J-Lo. Okay, so when J-Lo and I would say Ben Affleck, when they first dated, how was their relationship? Okay, let's see. Okay. I feel like when they first was dating, she was worried a lot about money. For some reason, she was worried about her status, her financial situation, her money, her stability. So it was a lot of concern about money around her when they first dated. I'm not sure if that's how long she's been out since then, but I feel like she was definitely concerned. That was her primary focus. She also, I don't know, maybe you could check that later, or maybe I don't know if she had any children, but I feel like she wanted to be a mother. I can feel energy around being a mother. And do you know, Amanda, if she had any children, or did she have a female daughter?
No, I don't think she had any children at that time. It was later on that she had children with Mark Anthony, I believe.
Okay, does she have a little girl? Does she have a girl?
She does, yes.
Okay.
I think she has a boy and a girl.
Okay, there's something around a girl energy, like she wanted a daughter or something like that. So I just can feel like it was like wanting to be a mother. I can feel that mother wanting to want to be a mother. I also feel like at times they had a good time. I think they enjoyed each other. They had a lot of fun. It feels like there was a strong sexual energy with them too as well. I feel like he was extremely attracted to her, really, really, really attracted to her. So he really, really loved her and wanted to be with her. But again, I feel like I don't, for whatever reason, it's a money issue was going on. And I feel like that was one of the main issues. And then also I feel like not being open. I can feel like there was a a situation where they weren't being open and they were fighting about dishonesty or some lies. And I think it was coming from Ben, but it feels like there was some dishonesty and some lies and some deception. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why things probably didn't work out very well. But it was a good and a bad relationship. It had its good points and its bad points, you know?
Thank you. So the same question for Janet. When Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck first dated, how was their relationship?
Well, when they first met, they both thought it was too good to be true. They both were very attracted to each other, but and she wanted someone that really saw all the effort she made to be this very special girl. And she put a lot of work into it and thought she was 100% working at 100% of just being this real talented person. And she was very dedicated. She says from Ben that he was somewhat skeptical about a lot of, minor things or things that it didn't really matter to her. What mattered to her is she needed to see the admiration in his eyes. And he did do that. But under that, eventually, she got to see that his skepticism about, money, like she said, and other things was making her feel like, oh, maybe he doesn't really love me. And I need love. One thing I work too hard to have somebody. I want to really love someone that wants somebody that does all this wonderful stuff I do, and he'll appreciate it. But as his skepticism sneaked out, she started to kind of pull away. Yeah, that was it.
Thank you, Janet. So next we are going back into our general readings, and Pastor Moses will pick a pile on what she sees going on in people's love life for the rest of the spring.
Okay, Janet, can you pick a number 1 or 2? Or 1 or 3? Sorry, 1 or 3.
I'll take 1.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, remember this applies, it can apply to some of us, but it won't apply to everybody. So what I feel is that there's a relationship, I feel like, there's a relationship that's no longer going on. I feel like there's a distance going on. I feel like they're not together anymore. And I feel like it's making a person really question their self-esteem. It feels like they did a lot of work on their self-esteem to get to where they're at. And then when the relationship broke off, it feels like they question their self-esteem and they feel like they have to start rebuilding their self-esteem again. And what they need to know is that self-esteem is self. So you have to you have to bring that to yourself. You have to make yourself feel better. But it feels like they're looking for outside external energy to make them feel better. So it says that it makes me feel like that your self-esteem can build up once you decide to build your self-esteem and feel better about yourself. And it feels like, these two were very well. It feels like the male energy was more emotional and the female energy was more taking care of business. It feels like the female energy likes to take care of business. It's more like a business type person, want to do things, take care of business. The male was more emotional. And it feels like there was some trust issue going on with that. It caused a lot of confusion because of trust issues. And it feels like there were like questions and spying and things of that nature. And it feels like financially, there were some issues around finance. The finances wasn't coming in as well. The money wasn't, it's like he wasn't bringing in the money the way he's supposed to, or stopped doing the way he's supposed to. And then I feel like then the male energy ended up leaving. So I feel like the male energy leaving. So they're showing me that that's what's going on around number 2.
All right, thank you. So next we are going to go back into the colors with Janet.
Okay, but I want to say her reading was excellent. It was so close to everything I'm going through. What a great reading. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, I set these up. This, you know, like how we talk about how phenomenal psychic stuff. I set these up way before we started, and I didn't even know you were going to pick number one, right? But remember Amanda, right? What did I say, Amanda, right? I said, Amanda, you got to pick a number, right? And I said, what number? In my head, I thought she was going to say 2, right? And she said 3. I said, okay, well, 3. And then she picked 2 when we did the thing, and it came out kind of like, was it close to you too, Amanda?
Ways, yes.
I'm sorry?
In many ways.
Okay, so you're going in and out. Okay, cool. All right, so it's so phenomenal how they do it. They didn't even know you were going to pick that, right? Or I didn't know.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
So
Okay,
Janet
sorry.
is going to go into her colors. We are
Okay.
going to talk about thyroid, heart, and kidney.
Okay. So the color for thyroid is red. That will help stimulate the thyroid to be in more action. And then what was the second one?
So it's heart.
Oh, the heart. Wait, I thought you said, okay.
So thyroid, heart, and kidney.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm still thinking about how great her reading was. The heart, the heart conditions, any heart conditions are calmed down with green and pink. If you know anyone that has a heart problem, wear green or pink around them, or give a food that's green and pink. I don't, it just really calms the heart and helps it feel strong. And these are, yeah. And the third one was
kidney.
Kidney. Okay. For the kidneys, you need the color orange and yellow. And that gives energy to the kidneys. If I want to say that when I'm doing readings in front of a whole big group of people, and when someone will raise their hand or ask for a question, and I see what they're wearing, I know right away, just from their color, where they're in a little discomfort. And so I tell them, you feel this way today, and they go, yes, exactly. And how do you know I have asthma or hay fever, or how do you know all this? But it's in their color. They'll wear a color that they'll naturally find themselves going to their closet to wear, to help them feel calm for that condition.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, so psychically, you just get it. That I've had to figure out, how do I know it? And then I learned.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, but colors have vibrations, and vibrations can be measured. And the vibration, that's why when people look at a rainbow, they feel good. They feel that there's something they'll pull out from that rainbow. Each person will see a different color on that rainbow, because they'll take out from that rainbow the energy that they need. And once you see the chart, like a music chart, even of the vibrations of each color, you know that those vibrations affect those organs of the body. It's really scientific.
Yes, because like when we talk about manifestation, I tell people to like if you're talking about they want more money, or you know what I mean, do the green candle. If you want a job and money, get a brownie for the brown will be more stable, so you can have the job long term, and the green is to bring the money. So we tell them to do that. And that again, the vibrations, like you said, and just focusing on that color and that vibration. So I agree 100%. That color is very important.
At our psychic fairs, I had a kit with about 8 different color candles, and with a paper in it that said, if you burn this candle, you'll attract what you need to attract because of the vibration. It's like you don't know how it works, but it works from the vibration that you're sending out, that you're not even aware you're sending out. That's why money attraction, which you are an expert at, and everything that the money, we also got all the herbs. There's herbs for money. There's herbs that also have the same effect for energies that will send out a vibration. And we had little herb things of money herbs, love herbs, different herbs, safety, protection. And all those herbs worked. The people came back and said, wow, it really worked. Tell me your stories. And I'd love to hear the stories. And so vibrations work through color, through nature. There's a lot of ways that, and the candles especially, candles are very powerful, especially the healing candles. By the way, every night at 8 o'clock at night, from 8 to 12, all the healers will do all their healing on people that you request. If you say, I'd like to send a healing to this person or that, and they light healing candles and they send out healing with their vibrations to that person. And it's beautiful, beautiful stories from healings. And it's done from 8 to midnight.
Wow. No, I agree, because when I used to work with you, when you had your psychic fair, and I was one of the psychics working at the psychic fair, I remember that you did have those herbs and whatnot in the candle, and I love the herbs, the money herb and the love herb, to attract money, to attract love. I love those herbs. I remember I got quite a few of them from you, and
Yeah.
they work. They work.
Yeah, they really
I got both of this stuff. Yeah.
One of the best
So,
herbs, if I know
Mhm.
this might be off, but one of the best herbs is sage. If you feel that there's a bad spirit around, no bad spirit can live in the atmosphere of sage. And it could be an essential oil, it could be in an herb, it could be in any thing that you light up and smoke, whatever. But no, they prove scientifically now that, see, I went to proof for everything because I go, I can't believe all this stuff, and they prove scientifically that anything negative, which goes in a different direction, positive energy goes in one direction, and it's like a river. Positive energy flows, and then negativity goes like in reverse, like a river going upstream. So you get what you want when you're more positive, and the sage would just knock out anything that's not positive, and it cannot exist in that area. So if anybody's scared of anything, just put sage around, and you'll see that it'll clear up the whole atmosphere.
No, okay. And I'm totally opposite, where you always have to get scientific thing, or you like to have proof. I just like believe that there's things outside of what we can prove, So I'm like, okay, if it's more psychic, I more believe it. If it's more psychic and crazy and don't make sense, I believe it in terms of the universe things, So I was like, okay, yeah, I believe that.
That's why you're Pastor Moses, and I feel like, but I gotta know. This is so incredible. I gotta know. And even when I was little, I says, how does TV work? How do they get all these little people in a little box from way far away? And like, I had to know.
No, that makes sense. And then I just had the knowing. I just said, "Oh, that works. It feels right." So that's why I think I got clear cognites, because I have a knowing. I just know, so I don't really need proof. I just know that if this is what it feels like, or this is what I see, I believe it. It's coming from the universe, because it can't be proven. That's one of the things with the scientists. Sometimes they can't prove things,
Yeah, but scientists are restricted. A lot of them are restricted. We have to have the independent thinkers help us prove it all. And so there's a whole bunch of books about people who said, well, I'm not doing it the scientific way. And let me show it to you from our way. And that's how I learned how color affects you, how all these things affect you, how your air affects you, and how thoughts affect you. And but you are you have a lot of wisdom, and you're very, very spiritual, and that keeps you honest. And when you're honest, the world will only give you truth. They will not try to deceive you. Deception only comes from people that are motivating to deceive. But when you do everything the way you do it, and I do it the way you explain how we do it, that's showing you that everything comes through from a higher level, a higher power. And because you're not manipulating anybody, you get wisdom, you get color, you get everything you want, you get answers. That's why you're so good. Like in 10 cards, you spotted every possible problem a person has in one blow.
Thank you for that.
But I appreciate you so much. I'm thrilled to be near you.
I really appreciate you too so much. And but we're, you know, what's important is, again, you have to be a truth seeker. I'm a truth seeker. I like the truth seekers.
Yeah.
So that's important for you to go deeper than what people tell you. You know what I mean? If we just go by what our parents tell us and don't go deeper, like if they give you religion and you don't go deeper and say, okay, well, how is this religion worked for me? You know what I mean? Instead of just taking it because it was passed down. You know what I mean? Instead of just saying, let me see how that works for me as an individual and look deeper into it. Then you could start seeing the higher, you know, going and tapping into your higher source. You know what I mean? Because you're going deeper. You're not just doing a rehearsal. You know what I'm trying to say?
Or just being narrow-minded and believing everything. You're allowed to be thinking for yourself, and you're allowed to discover
thinker. Yes.
But I believe in religion because it gives a piece. I love it. I love the churches. I love all that, because when you go there, it's people who kind of want to be good, and they want some ideas of doing things where they could be a good person. And that's how I see it. I don't have to believe what they say about certain things, but I believe that I like being with people that want to be good. That's all.
Okay. I understand. I'm sorry, Amanda. You can move on. We just
So next we're going to move on into the topic, which is gut feelings.
No, we did gut feeling, sweetie. We did gut feeling and intuition. What's the second one?
So intuition and gut feeling.
Yes, we did that. And the next one?
We did the abilities, and now we're doing the gut feeling.
No, we did intuition and gut feeling. You have intuition, gut feeling. You got mindfulness, and you got was it a deja vu? What was the other one?
No, it was psychic ability that we just spoke about.
Yes.
Right. Okay, psychic ability is what we say. Everybody has psychic ability, and how they have it is they dreams. Thank you. Okay, we got dreams and we got mindfulness. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we're gonna do dreams, and then we'll do, actually, let's do mindfulness first, okay? And then we'll do dreams, okay? So when we talk about mindfulness, it's something like me and Janet was talking about, you know? Basically, when people have, you know, their conscious mind is like that they focusing on, their energy is focused on like one thing. You know, some people say you're stubborn, you're closed-minded, right? I'm sorry, right, Janet? You're stubborn, you're closed-minded, you know, but you are more of an independent thinker. You're not really, like we talked about, you focus on your energy on one way because that feels right to you. You know what I mean? With everybody else, you know, you're the different person. You know what I mean? You're the person everybody like look at you and point at you because you might wear different clothes or you have all these jewelries or something different. You're different because your mind is set on certain things. And because your mind is set on certain things, a lot of times that is you listening to your higher self, you know what I mean? And like Janet said, inventing things, you know, you create new things, you follow what your gut tells you, you follow what you feel, you don't go by just what everybody else says. You're not the lamb, you know, following everybody, or the sheep, sorry, you're not the sheep following everybody, you know what I mean? So you kind of have your own mind made up because this is what, you know, is your instinct is telling you, what your feelings is telling you, and you're going for what you want. And that's how you start creating and manifesting things and bringing things to yourself too, by focusing your energy on that specific thing and put a lot of energy on that. So mindfulness is very, very important too. And that's one of your psychic abilities, because that's the topic, psychic abilities. So that's one of your psychic abilities that we all have. Janet, tell us a little bit more about mindfulness.
Well, mindfulness is what you decide how you're going to be for yourself. For example, I always said the one thing I like the most in my life is that I can be comfortable and take a warm bath and just have a nice, easy life, you know, of comfort. And then when I learned from a higher person, a teacher that said, well, did you ever consider that if you could accept, like even being here, you got to take a cold shower, you got to sleep on the floor. Did you ever think that the benefits of undoing your mindfulness to accepting discomfort, sometimes you're going to be able to be and do a lot more things? And I go, oh, wow, I never thought of that. I was glad I wasn't stuck in my own mindfulness. That comfort wasn't everything, that the challenge of taking the cold shower, getting up early, walking a mile, all that stuff I never would have done ever. But just knowing that I could change my mindfulness allowed me to do a lot more things and meet a lot more people and even run a mile, 5 miles, and do all these things I never thought I could do, because I thought comfort was the ultimate. Even of rich people, their comfort is the ultimate. No, if you change your mindfulness, then you will be able to expose yourself to so many different things and understand that discomfort can be fun.
This is true.
Thank you for that, Pastor Moses and Janet. So next we're going to go back into our celebrity tidbits, and we're going to go back into Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck and talk about how did they get back to the point of dating. Would you mind
I'm sorry.
starting?
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you really well. It's a little muffled. Say it again.
So we're going to speak about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck again for a celebrity tidbit, and we're going to talk about how did they get back to the point of dating again.
Okay, great. Thank you. So let's see how Jennifer and Ben Affleck get back to the point of dating again. Okay. I feel like he really missed her. I feel like he had a hard time really kind of letting her go emotionally. I feel like he still held on to her. I feel like he still loved her and he still wanted to be with her. So I feel like he really missed her. Even though, they moved on with their lives, they, married other people. I feel like she was still a part of his life. I feel like when he felt like he was more secure, and this is something like Janet was saying, when he was more secure financially, I feel like when money was better and he feels like he felt more confident in himself. I feel like it's almost like he just probably reached out to her and said, hey, I would like to get a second chance. And I feel like they were open to it. They both was single. They both were really open and interested and whatnot. And so now I feel like now, because of that, they're going to, move to the next level, thinking about marriage, fantasizing about another house. I could feel like a nice bigger house. So I feel like it just was the right time.
Thank you. And the same question for Janet. How did they get back to the point of dating again?
What happened during their marriage was that they both had disappointments that they didn't expect, because the love was there, it was real, it was true, but the schedules and the can't be together and they can't do this and can't do that, and a lot of things just caused so much disharmony. It was very, very hard to constantly be disappointed. Oh, this isn't working, that isn't working. And then everybody, when you're in your bad mood, you want everybody to see you in your good mood, but then your bad mood, you get judged, and then you don't forget, and then it hurts. And then it just builds up and builds up to say, oh, I just need relief. And I think they broke up because they just needed some relief from all the problems of a sudden schedule change. Somebody had to go here, somebody had to go there. It wasn't a harmonious thing that they could do together and have enjoyable, loving time together as much as they needed to. The disappointments and changes and the fast schedule was not, they were not prepared for. But I think they both always really wished each other really loved them. And so they got back because they said, I still feel love from this one. And they go, yeah, I feel love too. And the love brought them back together with a second chance to try to better manage their disappointments. It was real love.
Thank you, Janet. So we are going to go back into the general readings, and Pastor Moses will start with pick a pile. What do you see going on in people's love life for the rest of the spring?
Okay.
Pastor Moses, would you mind starting?
Sure, we only have pile number 3. Okay, so I'm gonna do that right now. Okay. So, okay, so pile number 3 is saying that it feels like you're happy. The person's happy in general, and they're just happy, and they're working and doing what they need and love, and just feeling pretty grateful about their life. I feel like in the past they had a serious relationship, you know, was kind of emotional, and it was very serious and I feel like then there was the male energy in that relationship was angry. He did not work on himself. He had some anger issues, unresolved issues that he bring into the relationship. And because of that, he caused the relationship to kind of not go so smoothly. I feel like it caused the female some hurt and pain because he was a little harsh with his tongue. He would say things that were not nice. He was not respecting her. And I feel like it just kind of it was just kind of hurt that he has not worked on from the past. And I feel like the relationship ended. Well, put it this way, not even, I wouldn't say ended as much as I would say, I feel like it, the man decided that he wanted to be unfaithful. So he was unfaithful in this serious relationship. And I feel like the relationship ended because of that. And that again, we circling back to the beginning. The person is happy, they're okay, they enjoy their life. They don't really have the need for a relationship. At this moment, they're doing what they need to do and, you know, focus on their life. Okay.
Thank you, Pastor Montez.
You're welcome, but it's interesting because I did have some similar experience with this. So it's kind of
especially being the last pile as well, and you weren't you didn't get to pick yet.
Exactly. So it kind of it talks about me a little bit in terms of that, you know.
Yes. So next you're going back into Janet speaking about the colors. So Janet, we have menstrual, fibroids, and gout. Would you mind starting with the menstrual cycle?
Okay, well, for that one, it is the yellow, gold, and pink help that vibration. The yellow, gold, and pink gives relief. Color relief.
Thank you. And then next is fibroids.
The fibroids are yeah, okay. Just give me, they okay. Just 1 minute. That was fibroids were the purple.
Okay.
Yeah, fibroids were purple, and then the third one was.
And the last one is gout.
Okay, yeah, gout. Oh boy, that one is I have it written down here. What that was the blue, the royal blue.
So Janet, can I ask you a question about these colors?
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're giving us the colors that we need to make, and these help us with alleviating the energy, or I'm sorry, alleviate the pain. Does it also cure it and make it go away, or is it just a temporary fix?
You get discomfort in any of your organs to try to tell you that you're missing something nutrition wise. Mm-hmm. When you have the proper nutrition of the body, what it needs, you will feel okay. You won't feel like you need something and you don't know what it is. And most people think, well, I need something, so they go right to the sugar or right to the ice cream and they don't really realize that if they go to what their body really needs. The body's trying to tell you, I need these things. Each organ of the body needs a special food that has the nutrients in it. Like diabetics have to have B12. If they don't have, and vegetarians have to have B12 also, because they don't have it in certain foods. But if you're the type of person that is eating a diet that's not enough nutrients in it, your body that day, you'll wake up with more of a pain or more of a discomfort in the area where you're lacking nutrition. So even in a salad is made with all colors: green for the lettuce, red for the radish, and they want you to put a little purple in it, and all the little colors that make a real pretty salad will cover all the things that you're missing in nutrition in your body. And so after you eat a salad, people always say, "Oh, I feel better." They think it's because they ate after lunch. But if the other person sitting next to them had a cupcake or McDonald's or some kind of stuff that didn't have that much nutrition in it, they're gonna go, "Yeah, but I don't feel like you, and I'll go along with you, but I don't feel that food." But they'll say, "Gee, the salad person feels good," but it's not just the salad. It was all the things in the salad that gave. Each food feeds a different organ of your body and for nutrition. And it's real fun to learn that. I learned all that and I loved it, but it's really, it really works. And then you get all better.
Okay. Okay.
Wow,
So
thank you
when
so
you
much.
say,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
What?
I want to ask some more questions. Is it Amanda?
No, I just wanted
Yes,
to say
'cause
that,
we're getting
okay,
close.
that's very interesting because I understand what you mean, like all the different things make up the food.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's superfoods out there, and then there's foods that are like, but I mean, we were having we found that like even people that had HIV and AIDS, all they had to do is have a thing called bitter melon, which all the Spanish people knew, and they could never afford doctors, so they just gave them the bitter melon, and they got better.
And the bitter melon is also good for diabetics.
Yeah, really good. If diabetics, and the lupina beans I told you for diabetics is like one of in Italy, I learned that because it was curing all the people in Italy. It's never 100% cure because you have to still do a variety of nutrients to strengthen the organs around that, where they had to work extra hard for what was deficient. Your other glands will make up for something that's missing, but if you can give them all the nutrition, then you're balanced and you don't feel tired or moody a lot. Everybody's going to feel it. Everybody feels good for the first 2 weeks of the month. And then the last 2 weeks, you wind down, and that's a cycle. That's it. And but if you eat healthy, you'll get through it better than someone who doesn't eat healthy.
Oh, okay. So here's another question I have. When you talk about the colors, are you talking about not only how are they supposed to visualize the colors in one? Are they supposed to also wear the colors too? How are they supposed to manifest these colors to create this discomfort?
Okay, so I go further and I kind of abuse it for my girls' school stuff. And I say, girls, when you go out and you want to meet a guy, if they're wearing rust, don't go out with them. Why? Because when you're real cheap, you'll wear rust. So don't go with them. And then I say, if a guy's wearing light blue, like he's going to be more kind and loving. If he wears a wild shirt, or something too, where colors are disturbing, he's going to say, you gotta accept my bad side. I'm going to be a little wild myself. The colors reflect your emotions and how you feel. And so it's real clear that color has meanings for a lot of different things, and people will wear a color. If you're really, really exhausted, you're going to wear a brown color, because then you want to feel safe, or green, you want to feel safe. Like I tell people, go to court, if you're scared, just wear green, and you'll feel safe. And so the colors reflect an emotion. There is properties to color, because the rainbow is your gift of colors. It's your medicine. It's your psychic medicine. God gave you a rainbow to pick a color you need so you'll feel better today. Look, we gave you a pretty rainbow. You can have all the colors, or you could take one out of there and you'll feel better when you look at us. You look at the rainbow. That's sent from God. It's a beautiful thing that was sent to people. They don't realize. Look at this wonderful gift they got. And so color has a meaning, and that makes you learn that they take color serious. I can go into someone's house, and from the way they paint the colors, I already know everything about them, because it's the color you paint the color you need. And like, you never paint a baby's room yellow. Never, never, never. You say, oh, but I don't know if I have a boy or a girl. You won't know, but the baby's gonna pee more when it's in yellow, because yellow stimulates the urinary tract.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Yellow.
yeah. If you have to go to the bathroom, stay away from yellow.
That makes sense.
So color is so much fun when you learn about color.
Yes, I agree. Like, for instance, if we talk about colors, we can talk about the energy of how you attract things. Like, you talk about health, but like we talked about, if you want money, you focus on green, right? So
Right.
So
and you focus green going into the palm of your hand, which I told you, you push the middle of your palm of your hand, you push it deep of the hand you write with, not the other one. You don't care. And all of a sudden your hand will go, oh, I'm open for money. And then all of a sudden you're going to get, somebody's going to pay you when they normally didn't pay you, or something will happen where you're going to attract money. And green is the best color to think of while you're, reminding you you'll attract money. It clears the path. It clears the psychic path. See, psychics know how to abuse their powers. I won 19 numbers in 1 month. You know how to use color and herbs to make your energy around you special and to win. I win a lot of things because I know how to do it with my mind, but I also earned it by helping others. And when you help others for no other reason that you love to help others, like you do, Nzinga, no, my other girlfriend, she does it too, and Pastor Moses, does it, and when you help other people, and especially a lot of psychics love to help other people. That's why they get truth. They get all this stuff, and they put a lot of colors around them because they know they can pull from that color they need for each person. And it's such a great power to identify. But the thing is, the real spiritual people that you don't have to be an angel. You don't have to. You can look cuckoo. You can look whatever way you want. But you're in your heart when you enjoy helping others. That opens your whole chakras up to the gifts of the universe.
Yes, I think we probably end up with a topic talking about how you can manifest things with colors. So that would be a good talk about that, because colors is very, very interesting. So again, I'm not sure I got the answer that I was asking in terms of the color. Is we supposed to how are we supposed to do that? Are we supposed to wear the colors? Are we supposed to visualize the colors? How are we supposed to do it in order to manifest that for our health, to get the discomfort, to get rid of the discomfort?
Well, just because there's all different ways. You can get it through jewelry. You can get it through crystals. I said you can get a handkerchief. You could take a piece of fabric. Even you could be in a room and you need a color, and you're so bored, but you might all of a sudden focus on the color you need. So color could pop up anywhere. There's no rule for how do you get the color in you. There's 100 million ways. That's why advertisers know the colors on the bottle. The bottles have to have certain colors. There's colors on a bottle no one will buy. And I took advertising in school, and that was great for colors, because they manipulate everybody with their colors on their advertising. So the colors can come in any form. When I go visit someone in the hospital, I always, before I even go in, I either get a handkerchief that color or a piece of fabric that color. And if I can't, and someone's sick, I grab an orange, because you put an orange in front of somebody, somehow orange takes away pain. Somehow when you focus on orange, your pain kind of like dissolves a little bit. It just lowers the vibration of pain. So try it. You know, try different things. It doesn't matter. It could come in a banana will do things for somebody. You know, like the colors.
So you're saying that the color you need is yellow and orange to make you feel better about whatever. Then you just can get an orange and a banana and just sit there and focus on those colors, right?
Well, whatever color, but not an orange and banana together because they do two different things.
Oh no, okay. No, I said if the colors were orange and yellow, only if those colors were. I'm just using an example.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't usually mix that I know of in any of the healing stuff because a banana does its own thing.
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm just giving a general.
Oh, yeah.
So you was talking about a plum, and I'm sorry, if you're talking about purple, and we say a plum and orange.
Oh yeah. So do you
Okay.
know that when you make a salad for somebody and you love them and you say, well, I love them, I'm going to throw in a plum, and I love them so much and they like this, I'm going to throw in that. And by throwing in a variety of things and you're thinking love, that person's going to eat that love you're thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Well, thank you for that. Thanks for sharing.
So we are going to move into our topic about dreams. Would you mind starting, Pastor Moses?
Oh, dreams. That's my favorite. I love dream interpretation. I've been doing it for a lot of years. I'm pretty good at it. And I believe that dreams, it's another way of your psychic ability, you know, talking to you, you know. So when we dream, we have dreams for a lot of different reasons. We can have dreams because we had a stressful day and we need to detox our stress in our dreams. You know what I mean? We could be angry about something and not really got it out, and then you dream about something that, you know, I'll give you an example about a dream I had. It's real short, and I felt kind of, how did I say? In real life, I had a date, you know, with the same guy about 3 times, you know, and we got a little close the last date, you know. We don't need to get into details, but got a little close the last date. And that evening, he had said he wanted to go to the store to buy some, I think, cigarettes or something, and he'll be right back. He did not come back. So I felt a little violated. I did. So I was angry. I was real upset. I'm calling, not picking up the phone, nothing. Okay. So I felt a little violated. But I went to sleep that night and I dreamt that I was in a den with lions, and the lions were tearing me up. They was mauling me. Oh my God, they were tearing me up. And I woke up and I had a little group where we do a lot of spiritual stuff. So I went there and I said, hey guys, this is what happened. And then I had this dream. What is this dream saying? What is this telling me? And everybody had to let me, you know, do the dream interpretation. And it did, you know, anonymously, everybody said that, you know, when you were angry, you know what I mean? You felt violated, you know? And the other, one person actually said that I felt like I wanted to do that to him, but it was more me being angry and feeling violated. And so the dream just acted out the anger. So I felt more at ease the next day after, believe it or not, after I have a dream of lions, you know, doing what they did, I felt better because I think I got it out in my dream. I don't know if that makes any sense. Janet, does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what happened. I felt much better, believe it or not. So our dreams are ways to kind of, they come in a lot of forms, you know. They could come as something to come, premonition, and that's what we're talking about. You know, you could dream that, be careful, something is going to happen. You know, sometimes I have dreams like that, you know. And then I had a friend who had a dream that, you know, she needed to be very cautious about something, and she did. And she listened when I interpreted it, and it didn't happen, thank God. So, but it wasn't really pleasant. So anyway, dreams are ways that I feel the universe, God, the higher source, talks to us too. And it's how he communicates with us through the dream. So you just got to pay attention to what these dreams are trying to tell you. A lot of dreams are significant. So it's good to write it down, like have a book. And when you wake up, write down your dream, because a lot of times we forget it throughout our days. So write down the details of your dream, and then you could take time to maybe look it up or talk to an experienced person, a dream interpreter, and then they'll help you interpret a dream, because it might be something you need to pay attention to, So dreams is very important. Go ahead, Janet. What you have to say about that here?
Okay, Pastor Moses, I would like to say that on your dream, first of all, when I want to say two things about mine, but I want to say that on that dream that you had, what happens is your higher self says, wow, what a bummer what this person did, and I feel awful. So the lions came along and they helped you express, this is how I feel. So you don't wake up angry and smash something or break something, or you don't wake up angry that day. You get it out in your dream. Okay, the lions, it was like, I feel so hurt. This is how hurt I feel. And the lions go, rah, 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 rah. So you see, your dream will help you balance your emotions so you don't bring them into your next day, so you can be happy that day.
I agree.
Yeah. And so on I have two common dreams that people have always asked me about. And I will tell you that one of the dreams is they always ask me, they ask me, more of when they have a dream of the, my head is going so fast. I gotta stop.
Slow down.
Yeah, I have to slow my brain down. Right. If you dream of someone that loves you, I mean, you have a love dream, and you wanna have a person. Oh, well, okay. Let's say you say, I love this person very much. I love my aunt. I love my uncle. Oh, I love my relatives. I love my mother and father, but I'm far away, and I just feel all this love for that person. But I had a dream that they died, and I want to know what it means. That they're going to die? I don't know, if I should call or not. And I'll say that dream means that you haven't seen them for a long time or talked to that person for a long time, and your higher self is scaring you. You could lose them. Don't take them for granted. And then usually that person right away will call them the next day, and then they'll be so happy that they called, because they know now not to take people for granted. It was a very strong dream for not taking people for granted. See, so that was one of the common ones that they had. And the other one that they usually ask for is that they got scared in their dreams. They're getting scared, something's scaring them. And the scare in the dream is just to warn them that you have to be aware that you're scared, so you can think about how you're going to handle a certain situation, so that it's not real. The scare is not real, but it's a warning to say that you have to pay attention to your mindfulness again about how you're handling that situation, and you could handle it better if you take the time. But if the dream didn't scare you, you wouldn't have taken the time. Like, my tires on my car, I don't know, I had a dream that I had to get a flat. Well, they go out and they don't get a flat, but then they go to get a check. They say, you would have got a flat a month from now if you didn't do this. So the scare is a lot of times your ESP trying to tell you, we got to scare you to get you to pay attention. That's what that means.
Yeah. Wow. I agree. I remember my friend had this dream, and it was telling her really about her personality and what she's going to do. Isn't that's so? I remember she telling me the dream. The part that I remember the most is she's telling me the dream. We were talking about maybe starting something, doing a business or something, right? And so she said she had the dream, and in the dream, she was riding a bicycle, You know, she's riding a bicycle and she's moving freely with the bicycle. She's moving down the block. And all of a sudden it was a big, big brick wall. A big brick wall came out of the ground, right? And she hit the brick wall head first and landed on her head, right? She wasn't unconscious. She wasn't bleeding or anything like that, but she landed right on her head and she's standing. So when I interpret that dream, I told her that, you know, you think about moving forward, you really do, but you got something that blocks you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's your thoughts, because it hit you in your head. It's your thoughts. Because you hit your head and you stop and you just land and she was still. So you hit in other words, it stops you the way you think and you just paralyze. You don't do anything. You don't move forward. You procrastinate. And I said, you need to move out of that. And of course not, and we never move forward with any business because her dream was telling her basically, this is your problem right now that you got going on. You know what I mean? Your thoughts moving forward is very scary to you. You know what I mean? You procrastinate. You know what I'm saying? You stand in your own way. You know, you got your own stuff that's blocking. Isn't that something?
Yeah,
so
right.
So the dream did her own interpretation for her. It was her own psychic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
they're so helpful, dreams, for you, to help you. They're there to help you.
Exactly. So that's another thing that people have to pay attention to is that, again, our dreams are ways of we getting in touch with our higher self and our psychic ability. It's the way God talks to us, the universe, high source, whatever, the way they talk to us to give us some information that we would normally not get on an everyday basis, you know? So dreams is another. So we have three very important very important things that show you that you have psychic ability, and that's the gut feeling and the intuition, which is one of the same. You have that gut feeling and intuition, that mindfulness, and also the dreams. So we all pretty much have that. So pay attention to that. That's your psychic ability. Okay, guys? And then you could just other abilities you really want to get into the arts.
Can I say one more thing about dreams that I before I forget? You know, I got this idea from when I was watching TikTok, because they always do part one and they never do part two. And I went, whoa, I hate this thing because they never have part two. And it's just like my dreams. I get up to a good part and it doesn't finish. So I said, what can I do to get part two for my dreams? I want to finish. So I found that if I took passion flower at night, like a couple of drops of passion flower, which is just a clean, safe herb, I can finish my dreams. I get all the scenes. It doesn't stop at scene 3. I get part 2, 4, 5, and 6. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
Okay.
I just want to share that tip because it was too good.
Oh, so you take it as a tea, in the form of a tea?
Well, no, I take a glass of water when in the bathroom when I take my pills, and then I put it comes in a dropper, and I put like a half a dropper. It depends, or if I want a longer dream, I put more, and I just put it in the water. It doesn't harm you in any way, and it gives you whatever it was. It gives you nice, clear dreams, and you wake up feeling, gee, I finished that dream. Good. You know, like it was like it's not every dream you need to finish, but the ones that I wanted to finish, I was starting to finish, and that just made me not so, you know, feeling bad. If you have to sleep alone, you want to have some kind of comfort, and that passion flower just gives you the end of the story. I get part 2. I call it part 2 of my dream.
Yeah. I haven't had a dream like when I wanted to wake up, I didn't want to wake up. Well, I haven't had that in a long time. You know, the juicy, good dreams. And man, I don't want to wake up. It's so good. And you wake up.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I used to love those. I want to go back to sleep so I can continue dreaming, you know? Those are fun dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I realized that, you know, people don't know that we all dream. We just don't all remember our dreams, you know? But we all dream.
Yeah.
We have several dreams. We have several different dreams. You know, the REM state, REM, rapid eye movement. You know, that's when we were dreaming. But a lot of us don't remember. You know, we'll
It's
probably
not
remember
so important to remember it because you feel it's like you acknowledged it. It's in your brain. You say, okay, brain, take care of it. I acknowledged it in my dream. Now let me go have a good day today. That your goal of each day is to find a way to be happy that day. No matter what happens, find some, even if it's appreciation for something that someone did for you. You have to find some way to be happy that day. So anything that might make you not too happy, you'll get it in your dream. Wash it away, sweep the floor.
right, just like the lion thing. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. Yep, I agree with that. Okay.
So next, we're going to move into the celebrity tidbit, and we are going to speak about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. And we wanted to know, or the audience wants to know, how is their relationship going now?
Okay. I'm first.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my apologies.
No worries. Is Jlo and Ben Affleck's relationship going now? Well, I think they're having some little fears. I can still feel some fears. I feel like Ben Affleck is kind of feeling a sense of I can't believe this. We're back together. You know what I mean? But yet they don't spend as much time. Maybe they're doing their own projects, so they're not spending as much time. And then there's some insecurity, don't want to be cheated on, I had experience being cheated on before, not necessarily with them, with each other in terms of when they were dating before, but then the insecurities going on, don't want to be cheated on. I'm hoping things will go. So there's some insecurities, even though when they're together, they have a great time, they enjoy each other a lot. But when they're not together, I feel like a lot of insecurities pop in. And then I feel like J-Lo, she does really look at things and say, okay, money again is an issue. She wants to make sure that she doesn't lose money in this relationship, that money is right, so money's important to her to make sure the financial stability is there, it stays there, the lifestyle she likes, and things of that nature. But I feel like they're not without any problems. It's more insecurity, more of that insecurity that they have, but a little bit more of it in terms of, don't want to be hurt and cheated on,
Thank you, Pastor Moses. And the same question for Janet. How is their relationship going now?
They are trying both very hard to get along and to enjoy each other and be grateful for a second chance. But two things different. One is that she feels as she's getting older, she wants someone that just really loves her for her now, not just for her glamour and her ways, just for her, her wrinkles and anything else that she's gonna feel. She doesn't have that same energy as a young person, and so kind of in the background, she'll see who really loves her and who may later on, if this doesn't work, that she'll have someone there that will love her for her and just have a quieter life, and no, she doesn't even have to go on stage anymore. She just has someone loves being around her that would be fun for her, and they can go places and have a more quieter life. She is not, she's very afraid of being alone as she gets a little older. On the other hand, Ben also has his side people because he's seeking someone that's much more submissive and that will do everything for him that he wants, because he also is getting older, but he doesn't have that energy to keep up with someone, and he just wants someone that will accept whatever he does, wherever he goes, and he'll love her, and it'll be someone he has to love, and he'll make sure that this is someone that loves him the most, even though she won't be as glamorous, she'll be more just a person that he feels really needs him as a man. That's it.
Thank you, Janet. That was very interesting. And the final question is, will they go forward and get married? Pastor Moses, would you mind starting off?
Jlo and Ben get married. Well, she is not, she's second guessing it. I kind of feel energy around her second guessing this. She's not really sure that that marriage is going to work. She doesn't think it's going to work long time. She's questioning it. I should say she's questioning it. I feel like they still have some issues around the past that's not resolved. I can feel like when they broke up, I don't think they broke up on good terms. I do think that there was some anger going on there. I'm not sure if they talked throughout the years or how often they did, but I didn't feel like it's on great terms that they broke up. So I feel like there's still some anger issues. Again, I can feel like their romantic life, is more laid back. It's a little different. I don't feel like it's the same as it was before, as passionate, but I guess when they were younger, it's more laid back now. And I'm not feeling like they're on the same, sexual plane, they're on the same level. So I can feel there's some disappointments. I can feel that she's not always feeling like it's going to work. And I can feel there's some adjustments that need to be made. When I look at if they're going to get married, I'm not sure they will. Right now, I feel like it's more like in the fantasy stage, thinking about this is something that they want to do. They both in line with the fantasy part of it. But in reality, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go with, I don't think so, because I don't actually see it. I see it's more in the fantasy stage. It might just be a long engagement, and I might have to look at it later on down the road, but it doesn't seem like they're going to get married at this moment.
Thank you. And the same question for Janet. Will they go forward and get married?
She really, really wants to get married and she wants it to work. But because of too many things going on, just like Pastor Moses said, there's so much going on that it's not quite the right timing to get married. She might plan it and hope for it. However, there's still a chance that I see later in life when they're older, they'll come back together again one more time and get married.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, because I think they're in their 50s now, right? So
it would have to be like from 67, 68, 70, 72, like that, like older. Then they come back and then everything's wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, I do think that I agree with you. I don't think that the marriage looks like it's going to happen at this moment. If it does, like I said, it might be a long engagement, or like you said, might have to come back. So right now, I think it's the fantasy of wanting to do it. I don't think reality that she feels like it's going to work out. So I'm not sure if they're going to get married. At this point, I would have to say no. Oops.
It's two roller coasters still. The roller coaster's got to go into a very slow bus.
Right. Cool.
Thank you. So those are all of the questions I do have for you guys, including topics and the general. If you guys do have any takeaways, you can, also go into that.
I just want to do a recap on stuff. If anybody interested in the reading, it's $5 for Janet, and if you want me as well, it'll be $5 for Janet per question, and also I would do it for free if you like. And like, subscribe, and share my channel. That is Psychic 4, spelled FOUR, like the number 4, lovers. If you definitely subscribe to my channel, I can definitely give you the same question you would ask Janet for $5. And I thank you all for joining us. Also, Janet has a book out. It's called, and it'll be ready in about, it's on back order. It'll be ready in about 2 months. It's How to Screw Up Your Baby. And she talks about in her book different things that you, as a new mother, or I guess a father too, right, Janet? Maybe new mother, new father, right?
Yes.
Yes, new mother, new father, having a new baby, what the things that you shouldn't do so the baby will have long-term psychological issues, emotional psychological issues that affect their lifetime, for their lifetime. So things that you don't want to do that will make your baby turn into an adult that has, some issues that they need to work on or pay a psychiatrist. And you could avoid all that by getting her book. I think her book is, if I recall, I think it's $29.99 or something like that.
22.
$22.99, and it's on back order. So if you want to order her book, you have to go to her. Well, you have to go to her email, which is brooklyngym@yahoo.com. Brooklyn is abbreviated as BKLYN. Gym, like when you go to the gym to work out, GYM @yahoo.com, and just let them know you're interested in the book. Please let me know when it's ready and whatnot, and leave your email and your telephone number, and she will get back to you with that book. We are going to be on every Saturday. We're going to try to make every Saturday at 2 p.m. Please tell your friends. Please tell everybody, friends, family, have everybody join, because we have so much stuff to talk about. We are very experienced. I've been in this field for 30 years. Janet been in there 40 plus. She's been on over 100 TV shows, like David Letterman, Sally Jessica Raphael, Regis. All I know is to say Regis, but she's been in so many shows, and she can tell you some of the shows she can be in. You can look her up. So she's what we call the TV psychic. So, and I've been doing my readings. I do my readings on online, with different places like Keen. I was doing Live Advice. I was doing Kasamba. I did 5-Star Psychic. I did let me see. I did some psychic lines that was in Australia, some in England. I think I've done over 100,000 readings. Janet also did like over 100,000 readings. My accuracy is pretty high as well as Janet. Amanda is one of my clients, and she's also our moderator. So if you're, we have experience. We definitely have experience. We both do our personal readings. So I'm Psychic for Lovers. You can look I have my website. You can look me up if you want a personal reading. Janet, you can just go to Janet's email that I just told you. Say, I would like a reading. I would like to schedule a reading, how much it costs, blah, 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 and leave your phone number, and she will get back to you. So we all do we do personal readings. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed day.